Welcome to my winter shop update. My name is Louise HEINZL. Welcome to my channel as well. And I would like to introduce you to some wintry papers today. Since you've appreciated my Halloween shop update, that was actually my first shop update here on my YouTube channel, I've decided to give you some inspiration for digital papers for wintry journals as well. So here we go. As you can see, here's a lot of stuff on my table today. So I have decided that I want to go through these papers in a little bit kind of specific order. So I will introduce you to a new paper set first. So that will come in the next minutes. And then I will go through some older papers that are in my shop since a longer time. I thought perhaps for all of you who are new to my channel, that could be helpful. You have given me some feedback in messages on Etsy. So my shop is actually on Etsy, if you don't know that, that you really like if I show papers that can go really well together so that you don't have to search in my shop so much. I'm always trying to also link those papers in the single items. So a little quick tip, please read the description box on Etsy for every single item that you are looking at really carefully, because there always are matching items listed. I have this section where you can see how many pages and what other things, for example, ephemera, is included into that set that you are looking at. And there's also a little bit more to the bottom, a little section where it says matching items. And there you can always find the matching items. So, for example, you look at some junk journal pages. If there is ephemera available that matches the pages, then it's always linked there so that you can click directly to that link. And before I start, I want to give a little goodie to you, because I want to show my appreciation about everything. That sounds so kitschy, but everything that you are doing for me, and that is just so great. I'm so thankful that I can do this stuff with the digital paper and that I can live my dream. I have never expected that this comes to this point, that I will own an Etsy shop and that I can create my own digital paper, and I'm doing that for a living. And I have never expected that. So I'm trying to give you something back. It's only a little thing, but for all of you who are watching my videos, I would like to offer 50% on everything that you can see in this video. This discount will be available in my Etsy shop until the end of this year. That means until the end of 2022. And to make it the most easiest way for you to get this discount, there's a link down below in the description box. So there, I will write a little sentence that says, get the 50% off here, and then there will be a link. And if you click to this link, you will come to my shop, and you will automatically get this 50% discount. So you don't have to enter any code or something like that. Sometimes on Etsy that works a little bit crazy. It doesn't work at all sometimes. So I thought we are going the easiest way. You can just click the link. And then when you come to the Etsy page, there it says that you will get 50% automatically to everything that you put into your basket. But, of course, it's only for these papers that you can see in this video. So let's get into this. I would like to start with this new set. This is brand new. And this is called A Winter's Day. And these are journal backgrounds. Another little tip, if you see something in this video and you see this and the pages in a second and you think, oh, that's great, I want to have that. To save time to find that in my shop, you can just write down this name here. And if you put that into the search bar when you are on my shop site, then you can find that really easily. So these are journal backgrounds, as I said, and I wanted to have something that is really wintry relatively white, but when I created this set, I thought about the winter that I have here in Austria. So perhaps you know that I'm living on a campsite, and next to me, or next to the campsite actually, there's a lake that is called Plansee. And the winter here is exactly like those pages are. There are some pages that are really white and snowy, but there are also pages that have a little kind of grayish look, a little bit brown because of the mountains that are here around me. And when the snow is not all over the mountains, I mean, when the mountains are not covered totally in snow, then it looks sometimes really muddy and brown and that stuff. So I've tried to include those colors into this paper set as well. And of course, you can use this for several different journal themes. That doesn't necessarily have to be winter. I think these are great neutral journaling pages as well. So of course you can include them into any other theme as well. So that was that. And then I would like to go on with some more older pages and sets that I've created in the past, and I have chosen those where the most of you said that they like them. So for example, this is called Vintage Birds, and this is a junk journal kit. That means there are pages and ephemera available in one item. So this was actually a variation of my other Vintage Birds set that I have. Perhaps you know that is really old, and it became a bestseller in my shop in the meantime, and I've decided that I want to have that in a more wintry color palette. The other Vintage Birds set is more brownish and, you know, vintage, these typical vintage colors, and I wanted to make something that is really, really bluish, wintry. And I also included here some eco-dyed papers. So everything that you can see in the background here, for example, these flowers here, are made with the eco-dyeing technique. Of course, the original eco-dyed papers were not this blue, yeah? Please don't be confused and don't ask me how I got blue eco-dyed papers. I've manipulated them digitally so that they get this blue, and then I've added these Vintage Birds here. And with this set you get several junk journal pages, as you can see here. So you can just fold them in half and use them for your journal. You could also print these, of course, and that's the same for all of the other junk journal pages that I have in my shop. You could also print them on postcards, for example, and make some greeting cards or whatever you want out of them. And this set also has some ephemera that you can see here. So this comes all in the same item. Here we have some tags with the matching birds. This is supposed to be an envelope, so you can fold that up and create an envelope out of that. And this card, for example, would fit in here. Or you could also tuck it behind one of these tuck spots, or even behind both. Of course, you could also put one to the left bottom corner and this to the right top corner, and then you can, you know, tuck it behind. And for the ephemera, I've tried to get a matching color. As you can see, we have this beige and brown here as well, and that matches this blue really well. Some bingo cards, and this you can use as journaling cards, or you could turn that into pockets, of course. Some banners and tickets and doilies in this set as well. So this is a relatively big set, as you can see. So that's that. And if you perhaps want to make a really fat journal and you have decided to use this, then I also have some more neutral pages where not so much is going on that match this set really well, and that are the Frosty Forest journal backgrounds that I want to show you next. And if you are interested in seeing a journal made with these papers, then please check out the info box. I have a video that is also relatively old because the paper is for a long time in my shop, but that doesn't matter. You can get some inspiration from that video. There I have used these papers to make a journal, and I give you a little flip through in that video. So that's linked down below this video. So let's go into the Frosty Forest journal backgrounds, and this is basically made with this, or in the same style like what you've seen before, but here there are no birds. So you have this beautiful blue eco dyeing and this ledger things and these white plants, so that you can of course use this for a wintry journal or a blue journal that you are making or something else, but you don't have the birds. So I thought it's perhaps nice to have some more neutral pages so that you can collage something on top, or of course you can use that as journaling space as well. So that's that. And then we come to the little, I would say a little bit cuter version of winter that's available in my shop. So I have made this thing here that's called OACHKATZL'S winter tale. Perhaps you're wondering about this word. If you're new to my channel, you don't know what an OACHKATZL is. If you are a subscriber for a longer time, then you know exactly what this is. An OACHKATZL is actually a squirrel. And there was a little fun story behind that, because we've done a squirrel tag with the OACHKATZL, of course, when I reached 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Perhaps you are remembering that tag challenge that I've done with my hubby. If not, I will link that video down below for you as well, so that you can check that out. And by the way, the freebie that I've gifted to you while I have done this tag challenge is still available on my website. So you can check that out, of course, and you can still print that out. There are a little bit different colors on that freebie, because this is actually the winter version of this OACHKATZL paper. So there's a more vintage brownish version available as well. It looks way different. It's not exactly the same like what I'm showing you next, but you know, you can mix and match that together if you want. So I will link everything that you need to know for that down below in the description box. And I thought, why not? Oh, I should explain the word OACHKATZL'Schwoaf as well, because here it says OACHKATZL'S winter tale. That means squirrel's winter tale. And there's this other paper collection that was actually the paper collection that I have created while we did the 10,000 subscriber, thingy. There, I had the name OACHKATZL'Schwoaf. And Schwoaf is nothing else than the tail of the OACHKATZL. Squirrel tail is OACHKATZL'Schwoaf. So perhaps you have learned some really weird German. Actually, it's a dialect word that you can find in some regions of Germany and also here in Austria. And I wanted to have these little creatures being in a wintry wonderland. Do you know what I mean? So I have created this, and you can find all of the creatures that you know from the OACHKATZL'Schwoaf kit here in this paper collection as well. And I've also tried to include some things that could be trees, but this is actually no tree. I will tell you about that a little bit more later, because there's also another matching item that you could combine with this thing here. So this shall look like some abstract Christmas stars or wintry, frosty thingies that you can find on the window, you know, these crystals from the snow. But actually, it's something totally different. And also the things here in the background are something that is normally not, you know, typically for winter. So these are the pages. And then there's also some ephemera available for OACHKATZL'S Wintertale. That's this set here. And this, of course, matches that what you've seen before. So you can use this ephemera for decorating the pages that I have shown you before. We have some tags here and also the little creatures that you have seen on the pages before. Some tags. And I've tried here to get a really good mix out of turquoise, blue, greenish gray, and a tiny little bit of purple, but really, you know, really muted. And I think that's a really cool color combination. And what I liked about creating this set was definitely to put those flowers here that have wintry colors. But of course, you can't find those flowers in winter. Do you know what I mean? So they are not growing outside when it's snowy outside. But I really like to have this freedom of playing around with digital things that would make no sense in the reality. But here it makes sense. Yeah. So here you can see these crazy things in the background as well. These look like those wintry, snowy crystals as well. But actually, these come from a nautical vintage book. So these are those little things that are growing in the sea. And I thought this looks so wintry when they have the right color that I thought it could be a great idea to include them here. And you can find them in the background here as well. And the same with these little trees that looks like a tree in the winter, but it is not a tree. It's also from this nautical elements, and this as well. This is something that grows under the water. Crazy, isn't it? I thought that looks so interesting, and I'm hoping that you like it as well, of course. This is, yeah, I like to put those things into another context, yeah, where they actually in the reality can't exist, but here I have the freedom to do that, and that's just great. And a set that is even older than the one that you have seen before is this one that is called Winter Wonderland. And here you can find all of these trees again, but in a totally different context. You can, of course, combine that. Here, can you see that? Here we have these nautical things in the background as well, but with some other elements like flowers and that stuff. And these little stars that actually are no stars. But of course you could use this separately, but you can also combine that with the OACHKATZL'S Wintertale. And also with all of the others, other sets that I have shown you before and that I will show you in a second. So these looked to me like mushrooms, and I wanted to have them a little bit over-dimensional. But this is actually something, again, that grows underwater. And for me, that was just gorgeous. To have some, I mean, I love normal mushrooms, yeah, but to have something special like this, for me, that's just crazy. That makes, for me, a junk journal into this special thing, where you can find things that you normally wouldn't expect. Here I combined, I mean digitally, a flower that I found in my garden, and I've taken this photo and I've put this nautical thingy here on top so that it looks like it is one. And I love this smooth look of this. And if you print this to matte paper, then of course it feels also relatively smooth. And these pages are also great, I would say, for white embossing. If you have white embossing powder, you could do so many things with this. I have tried that out the other day and that looks just absolutely fantastic. For example, here on those relatively plain areas, if you would stamp with a script stamp or letter stamp, for example, and then emboss that, that looks so cool on this background here. That's just great. I would do the thing with the embossing in the more calm areas of the paper, but that looks absolutely crazy. So here we have some ephemera in this set as well. Some bingo cards. These circles are great for round embellishments on vertical or horizontal belly bands, for example. You could also turn them into clusters, or as a tuck spot, just glue it, for example, here, and then you could tuck something behind. And this set, by the way, also works really well with lace. Any kind of white or bluish, gray, light green, for example, turquoise lace works really, really well with that. And again, if you need more, and if your journal shall be really blue and really wintry and you need more of that, you can just take this set that is called Winter Wonderland Journal Backgrounds. And here you can find some jelly print backgrounds. This is really neutral, so you can do many things with this. So yeah, this is meant to be as a background set, a basic background set in blue and turquoise color palette. So here, of course, you can embellish, you can just make some collages or use that as plain journaling pages so that you have the possibility to mix and match that like you want. And if you can't get enough of this nautical stuff, we have a last set here that I want to show you, and that's called Nautical Garden Journal Backgrounds. And as you can see here, it says Volume 1. Every time you can see this little tea bag label in my shop on the very first picture. So that is actually this one. This is what you can see in this overview on my shop site. When you can see this little tea bag label and you read volume 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, then you know there are also other colors or other variations available of this set. Again, those other variations and other color palettes, for example, of this set are also linked in the description box of every single item when you see this. So just click the item, go to this description box, scroll a little bit down, and then you will find listed volume 2, 3, 4, or whatever is available. So this is, of course, really cool for winter and, of course, for any kind of nautical journal. I guess you could also combine this with some steampunk elements that would look really cool in my eyes. And I made this in several different color variations, as I said. So check out volume 2, 3, and I guess there's volume 4 as well. I'm a little bit confused at the moment. I actually don't know. I think there are 4 available. But I will link those down below for you as well. So I will put everything that I have talked about in this video down below in the description box. So if you heard something, then please just check out the info box and there you will find every information. So that's this, and I love this turquoise so much. And this is actually also made with the jelly plate, what you can see in the background. And I love this texture. I mean, it's flat on the paper when you print it, of course, but this texture, let's say printed texture that came from the jelly plate is just gorgeous. And you have the feeling when you print that out on a high quality photo paper, for example. I mean, with copy paper, it would be not so extremely crazy, but on photo paper, like this one is, you think that here's some gesso or something that you can feel, but it isn't. It just looks like textured. And I'm actually a little bit proud of that. It's not so easy to get that digitally, so that when you print that out, it looks still like you have seen it on your computer. And digitalizing jelly prints is for me the most difficult thing in the world, because that's actually not so easy. Scanning or making a photo of that and then putting that to your Photoshop is not all. Yeah, you have to put really much effort into this, that it comes out like this. And I'm really proud that I could manage that for this and the other sets. So yeah, that's it for today. So if you liked one of these items, then please feel free to go to the description box, check that out. And I wish you very much fun with the discount. So just click the link if you want to have 50% on these items. I wish you so much fun with creating journals out of this, or greeting cards, or whatever you want to do with this. And of course, I would love to see your creations on social media. If you want to share something that you've created with my digital papers, then please tag me at LUISE HEINZL. You can find that also written here in the screen. And you can also use this hashtag JunkJournalArt mit LUISE HEINZL. Then I can find your posts easier. But of course, please feel free to write me an email and send me photos or something like that. If you don't have any, you know, those fancy things like Facebook or Instagram, you don't need that, of course. You can also message me via email or in some other way. That's it. So I hope you have a nice day. Stay creative and see you the next time. Bye bye.